Let's just pause and look at it for a second. It's not a rubbish knockoff, this, okay? This is a handmade guitar. In my opinion, very authentic. And it's got premium parts, all bar the tone knobs for some reason. They're a bit really, to be honest with you. I don't have any other criticisms. It's fabulously lightweight. It was a really good price. It's a piece of me, isn't it? Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. So I'm back, and I thought it was about time I reviewed this. This is what I call a guilty pleasure guitar. It's a guitar that I bought for me because it was winking at me back in January when I was selling off loads of stuff. When I sold off some of the guitars on the back wall, some high-end stuff and loads of the other stuff. So I had a bit of cash burning a hole in my pocket. And I bought the Maybach Albatross, didn't I? The SG Junior type guitar that I reviewed a little while ago. Links in the description box. And I was so impressed with that brand, Maybach, that guitar. I saw this and I thought, I'm in. Yeah. Didn't take long. I mean, look at it. Let's just pause and look at it for a second. It's a piece of me, isn't it? It's a scruffy old bastard, isn't it? Look at it. Right, so it's called, I'm going to have to refer to my notes, for the full name, it's a Maybach Leicester, based on a 54, and it's called a Leicester, hang on, it is long, a Leicester Black Velvet 54 Custom Bigsby B7 Aged. Look at it. Clearly it looks a bit like Neil Young's old Black. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. Sorry, my chair just squeaked and it put me off. But anyway, yeah, this is a guilty pleasure guitar that I bought for me, and I love it. I'm going to review this, okay, now. Yeah, I'm going to review it. I'm going to take it apart and have a look and tell you how it's made and what it's made of and all that, you know, measure it and poke it around and then play it quite a lot. I've got some ideas. I've got some inspiration from Neil Young today. I hope. Well, I did have last night. I don't know if I will have today. So shall I stop talking and we'll do the next bit, which is to say, oh yeah, I do talk a lot, but there are timestamps in the description box, so you don't have to endure that. You can skip forward to hear what it sounds like or whatever. If, however, you've got a little bit of time on your hands, go and put the kettle on, make a cup of tea, get some nibbles, maybe some cakes today, or biscuits, or a sandwich, or I don't know where you are, what time it is in your part of the world. It might be breakfast time, whatever. Do what you want, I don't mind. Just come back and let's chill out and have a closer look at this Maybach Leicester 54 Black Velvet, blah, blah, blah. Let's do it. So yeah, I suppose it reminds you visually of Neil Young's Old Black, which is a guitar that he used throughout his, still uses, I think, has used throughout his career and still uses to this day, as far as we know. And his was actually based on a 53 gold top, heavily modified, and it ended up looking vaguely like this, but, you know, different pickups. It changed a lot over the years. There's a picture of it at some point in its development. So this, you know, I saw this online at, so I got this from Spain, from Richard's studio in Santiago, Spain. Same place that I got my Maybach Albatross from. And that's really why. I think when I was making that review of the Albatross, I was putting some links up so you could have a look, because Maybach guitars are not widely available. They're not widely available here in the UK. I don't think that. I think they're fairly hard to get hold of in the USA. Sorry about that, guys, but the world is bigger than just the UK and America. Europe's quite big, and you can get them in Europe, and you can certainly get them in Spain anyway. And they're made in the Czech Republic by a German company, so they're a very European thing. So it's nice. It's nice to have something of our own, isn't it? You know, it's not all about American guitars, is it? This is clearly based on American guitar. You could say it's a knockoff, really, isn't it, of a Les Paul? Clearly, it's a knockoff of a Les Paul. It's called Lester. Lester Custom. There's no mistake in it, is there? I mean, look at it. But what might interest you is the price. It weren't as expensive as it looks. I don't know how expensive, of course, you think it looks, but I think it looks like, probably $3 or $4 grand. If it was a Gibson, if it had Gibson on the headstock, which it doesn't, it's got Maybach on the, I'm going to pronounce that differently throughout this review. Maybach. It's got Maybach on the headstock, not Gibson. If it had Gibson on the headstock, clearly, I don't know, what we're looking at, 5, 6, 7 grand. Whatever price Gibson feel like picking out of thin air on that particular occasion, really, because it's aged as well. I don't know how well these cameras will pick it up. I'll try and do some B-roll as well to give you a full idea of the aging on this. I really like the aging. I think it's really convincing. It's got a little bit of checking, really nice and subtle here. I don't suppose you'll be able to see that, but I can, so I'm explaining it to you. Bit of checking. Lots of these dings all over. Clearly done with well, they do with it, a railway spike at Gibson. Who knows, keys or whatever. It's got checking on the headstock. On the back of the headstock. On the back. I hope you can see this because it's, you know, in my opinion, very authentic. I guess maybe, you know, I like to sort of be honest, maybe a little bit too many of these edge dings. That was my first impression. But I don't think it's overdone, and I've certainly seen, I've seen Gibson. I had a Les Paul customer, Gibson Les Paul customer 68, which was aged. Not the most authentic job at all compared to this. This is way more authentic, in my humble opinion. I've got to add that because a lot of you will disagree with me and say, "Oh, it's horrible," but I'm certain a lot of you would absolutely adore it. So, yeah, I was talking about price, wasn't I? I didn't get to that, did I? I got this landed in the UK from Spain for a smidge. Smidge is a little bit, by the way. I got it for a smidge under 2,000 English pounds, which is about 2,300 US dollars. It's not a rubbish knockoff, this, okay? This is a handmade guitar with very high-end parts. So let's start there. It's got a mahogany body. As you'd expect, it's a Les Paul, isn't it? It's got a mahogany body, set neck, set mahogany neck. It's got a maple cap, all standard fare. It's got a nitrocellulose finish on this. ebony fingerboard. We'll have a closer look at that in a second. What we'll do right now is we'll weigh it. Here we go. It's no heavyweight. Let's see. £8 3 ounces, which is 3.73 kilos. We like that, don't we? Right, here we go, strings off, so let's have a closer look. First off, I'm just going to remove spring, a plastic washer, and another plastic washer from the Bigsby, so that I don't lose them. Put those there. So, well, we'll start with that. This is an authentic USA Bigsby B7. This is a Schaller, German-made Schaller roller bridge. Oh, it's quite heavy. There you go. I don't know if you can see that. Made in Germany. And it's got the rollers on, so I wasn't paying attention to which way it came off. It was that way, wasn't it? I'll check later before I string it up. Better, hadn't I? Yeah, I'm sure it was that way. I'm an idiot. Right, yeah, Schaller roller bridge. Apparently these are a straightforward replacement to the Tune-o-matic. What I'm just going to do, now I've said that, I'm just going to actually get a Tune-o-matic and see if the spacing's the same. Because you might want to get one of these for your Bigsby equipped Gibsons, mightn't you? Or Epiphones. Let's have a look. Right, I've just found a couple of, this is it's a Nashville style Tune-o-matic. And I know this came off of a Gibson. It's a manky old bridge that came off a used Gibson that I had at some point, and I replaced it. So that goes straight on. I didn't expect it to be that easy. So, and the posts, these are the 4mm posts as well. So yeah, it looks like if you got one of these Schaller roller bridges, STM roller bridge, I think it is. I saw them at Stu Mac and stuff for around about $60. So I reckon that will go straight on your Gibson. And this is one of the Faber Germany replacements that I've got for stuff. Might need a bit of coaxing. I can't remember if I got that. I think I got this for an Epiphone. So I think the Epiphone spec ones might be, yeah, a tad out. Might need a bit of forcing. You don't really want to do that. There's probably metric and imperial versions of this. I don't know. But anyway, this is a Gibson bridge and it fits like a glove. There you go. Right, I'm rambling today, aren't I? So, what was I talking about? Schaller roller bridge. So, German hardware there. USA, Germany, Japan. Goto SD90 Kluson style tuners this end. Really nice looking. I love these Goto tuners. The knobs, the knobs, I'm going to call them knobs because it makes a few people laugh if nothing else. These knobs are really nice feeling. They feel nice. You can see they're kind of, you know, They look aged. That's what I'm getting at. They look aged, don't they? Good. Very good. And this headstock, they call it, it's got a name. It's called the Larson peg head. So I haven't done the research to find out exactly why that is, but I imagine it was maybe designed by someone called Larson. Anyway, that's what that is. And the nut is a bone, actual bone nut. Medium jumbo frets. Ebony bald, I've said that. Look at it. Ebony bald, medium jumbo frets. 12-inch radius. And it's 24 3/4 inch, same as Gibson scale length. And now let's have a closer look at those frets. What I've got a little bit of a criticism here actually. This has been pleked. I know that because there's a big sticker in the box that says it's been pleked. I felt that it hadn't been hand finished on the fret ends to the degree that I would have expected. It felt like it had come straight out of a machine. There's the odd bit of sharpness that I can feel that I wouldn't have expected to. So as much as I'd like to say, oh, what a brilliant fret job this has had, I think that it had been pleked, and maybe it hadn't had maybe it missed a stage after that, where a real human being came in and finished it. I don't know, but I can feel a bit of fret there when I wouldn't really expect to. Apart from that, it plays beautifully. And these are medium jumbo frets. Don't think I said that. They call them Wagner. I don't know, I guess that's the brand of fret wire. There you go. Let's have a look at the neck profile and measurements on the screen now. Okay, here's the neck profile and measurements at the first fret. And here's the neck profile and measurements at the 12th fret. So there you go. It's got a nice chunky feel to it, definitely a 50s feel to it. It's got a little bit, I suppose I would call it a D profile. I'm going to be interested to look at that after I've actually done the measurements there. But it feels a bit of a kind of a D profile. So plenty of, I suppose, shoulder there, supports the hand nicely. It feels nice. It feels really nice. You know, I think I prefer a chunky neck like this. It's not over the top, you know. It's not a baseball bat. It's just nice. Right, moving on to the pickups. These are what they call amber P90 pickups. Let's take some readings and then we'll pop them up and have a look underneath. We'll start with the bridge, 8.33 kiloohms, and the inductance of that, 6.95 henries. And the neck, 7.17K, 5.79 henries. Middle reading, because we can, 3.85 kiloohms. There you go. Let's have a look under the hood. So I assume these are just screwed to the body and got a bit of foam or springs or whatever. Let's pop the neck out. See what's going on here. Yeah, screws. Cover pops straight off. Hopefully you can see that the neck tenon, long neck tenon goes to there. Couple of bits of foam. And 90 standard, neck, amber pickups from, I'm going to say Germany. Yeah, Germany. DE 18311. There you go. Nice looking, isn't it? Okay, put that one back. I don't think it's worth taking this one out. I'm sure it's exactly the same as that. So what we'll do now is we'll flip it over and we'll have a look inside the control cavity. Look at that. That's done properly, isn't it? And these are CTS 500K pots. You can see that. Little, tiny little caps there. It's all nice cloth wiring and stuff. Tiny little caps. 0.47 caps, it says in the specs. There you go. It looks nice and tidy. Be nice to see some bumblebees in there or something, wouldn't it? But it's modern wiring as well, incidentally, this, according to the specs. So all looks good, doesn't it? All high-end stuff. Handmade. On paper, it looks great. For not a lot of paper, if you like. So I think what we'll do now is we'll put some strings on it and then we'll actually hear it. Because I think you'll see what I mean. See in a minute. This is what it sounds like. Same rig as always, Princeton 65. Same pedals as usual. Soul Food and a Rat. And I'll show you if I use them. Check out Knobcam for what I'm doing with my knobs. Actually, they're on full now. I've been mucking around, I've got used to it. So, as usual, they've made their way up to 10. So everything on 10 at the moment. Bridge pickup. Neck. The tone control, let's see. I'm just mucking around with the tone there on the bridge pickup. It's not very good actually, is it? I mean, there's no roll-off. Literally no roll-off. So you might as well just have a switch there, really. Let's see if the same on the neck. Well, yeah, it's the same. Yeah, they're for me, disappointing. I mean, maybe they're meant to be like that. I can't think why they'd put rubbish tone pots in a guitar where everything else is so good. Don't know. Anyway, the volume controls. Definitely work. Yeah, nothing wrong with them. So yeah, different type of pots, I think. I didn't comment on it when we were looking inside, but the pots look different. It says CTS pots. They looked different. Yeah, here's a shot of it. See what I mean? Tone pots are different, aren't they? They feel different. Definitely, they're very loose. That tone knob's quite loose. Same with that one. These a lot more friction. I can't think of the word. Sorry. You know what I mean? Do you? I've got to try and think of it now. I'm not going to. I'll carry on. Right. Where are we? There you go, 3 chords inspired by Neil Young. Let's just hope I don't get a copyright strike though, because listening to that, it definitely won't have been worth it. I honestly felt that my mojo was somewhere else maybe this week. You can tell by looking at me. When I'm playing, when I'm into it, I'm into it, and this week, if you look at that, I'm like, it looks like I'm thinking about the shopping or something, some of it. I'm not blaming the guitar though. I'm absolutely not blaming the guitar. It just sometimes happens. I've been away, as you know, or you might know, last week, working away all week, and I'm still working on a big job elsewhere, and it's taking a lot of my focus at the moment. So that's my excuse. Okay, a bit more coming up. I think I got it together a little bit more on the Play Out Jam. So stick around and listen to that. But hopefully it showed you that it sounds all right, doesn't it? I like it anyway. I really do like it. I think it sounds throaty, crisp, sharp, ballsy when you want it to be, sweet when you want it to be, when you don't. Well, I was going to say when you don't want it to be, but when you want it to be. So nice. I mean, you know, P90s, great. And I mean, what I'll say about this guitar is, for me, I bought it as a trophy guitar or a booty guitar. I think I'm going to kind of call it Black Booty on the thumbnail because I can't think of anything better. But yeah, it's booty for me. He's smart. Well, I think so. I think it's a really smart guitar. It represents, let's talk about the value first and then the faults, I think, because there's a couple of things that aren't perfect. But for value, I paid a smidge under 2,000 English pounds for this, landed in the UK, shipped from Spain. And the closest you're going to get, well, I think you've got a couple of options. I looked on Reverb at Gibson, so this is a 54 Black Beauty reissue with a Bigsby, basically. A couple of options around about £6,000 on Gibson Custom Shop. £6,000, okay, so 3 times what this costs. And I think the only other real option is, I suppose, a custom made one there's like the painted player. Have you heard of those in England? They customise Gibson standards and, you know, upgrade them. I'm not sure what they cost, but they're a lot more than £2,000. And the other options are Gibson. I suppose you can get a Gibson if you want from AliExpress. I'm pretty certain that won't be as good as this. This guitar is handmade, as I said, and it's got premium parts. All bar the tone knobs for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there, but they're a bit shit, really, to be honest with you. If you want to just roll off the tone on, you know, to soften up the bridge pickup, you can't really, because as you saw earlier, it just kind of is a kind of off or on. So I will definitely be inclined to change those, because this is a keeper for me. Although I must admit, when I bought it, I thought, oh, £2,000, I can flip that. I can buy that, play it for a little while, review it, and flip it for 2.5 probably. I'm certain I can. In fact, I've got at least one person that has said, if you sell it, I want it. I haven't told him how much it would be. But actually, sorry, Matt, at the moment, I'm keeping it. I'll let you know, though. Anyway, knobs. Yeah, we're talking about knobs, weren't we? Loose knobs. They're a bit loose compared to the volumes. They're definitely different, and they're a bit shit. So what I was saying was, I'll be inclined to change those for some that work, and maybe stick some Black Beauty caps in there, and maybe 50s wiring. I think that's what it needs. And the only other thing was the frets. I did a little bit of research, and this has definitely been plekked. I'll just show you that. In this fabulous case, we get, it's going to look terrible on camera. I haven't planned any of this like I normally do. What do we get? Fabulous hard case. And yeah, look, there you go. This came with it. I'm plekked. La 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 la. Along with the, there you go, Richard's a Studio 54 where I got it. And there you go, he's stamped the COA. I'll show you the COA that you get with these. Proper, you know, custom shop stuff, this. A couple of pictures. Maybach certificate of authenticity. Yeah, with all the rundown and everything. So, all good. But yeah, the plekking, what I've discovered by on the gear page, I think it was, you know, it does kind of really need a little bit of hand finishing. Make your own jokes up. And it doesn't look like, well, it doesn't feel like this has had that treatment at all, because there's a bit of sharpness there. There was a little bit of sharpness there when I got it, and I rubbed it down with a bit of sandpaper. So I'm pretty sure this missed an important part of the QC, or the person that plecked it didn't really know what they were doing. So it's a bit inexcusable for a handmade guitar. I guess it happens. It isn't like this with all Maybachs. I know that for a fact because I've got a Maybach Albatross, as you know, and I've also got, that I haven't shown you yet, a 58 Leicester, which I'm going to review very soon. Cherry Lane, I think they call it, you know, a sunburst one. That's coming up on the channel soon, alongside some other exciting heavyweight Leicester Les Paul copies. So anyway, this, I think this, I don't know what happened, it skipped through. It's not a massive deal for me because I'll just rub it down. But it's what it is, isn't it? So I've got to tell you, that's a shame. Apart from that, I don't have any other criticisms. It's fabulously lightweight. It was a really good price. It sounds great. It looks the bollocks. So I love it. What else? There isn't anything else. I've done it. There you go. Stream of I can't say that. Stream of consciousness. I make notes when I do this. I go, what do I want to say? I make some notes and then I just go, bah! And it all comes out. And sometimes I forget something. Today I haven't. So that's that. Yeah, that was my review of the Maybach Leicester Black Velvet 54 Custom Bigsby B7 aged. What a great guitar. I hope you've enjoyed that. Play Out Jam coming up. Let's see what happens there. I shall probably not be here next week because I'm still working on a TV show, as I mentioned previously, and I'm away in London again all next week, editing and stuff. So, sorry. Check out the TV channel. I'm going to try and put some extras on there. I'm doing that because that's the address I'm just putting up. Check that out if you can. There may be some extras there, but even to be honest with you, I'm up against it at the moment. So what happens is what happens, and I have to focus on this other thing. It'll all be done in a couple of weeks though, and we'll be back with a vengeance. And I will be reviewing as I say, a Maybach 58 Leicester. I'm lining up a Heritage H150 to review, and another Tokai, high-end Japanese Tokai, and we're going to do a big old Comparo, Les Paul type Comparo with the big guns. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll happen soon. So, you know, if you want, do that thing that everyone tells you to do. Subscribe, because I never ask people to subscribe. I mean, fortunately, you do, don't you? Appreciate that. But now, if you're one of these people watching that hasn't subscribed, well, do it. Why haven't you subscribed, for God's sake? And if you hit that bell, the notifications, if you turn on the notifications, YouTube will apparently tell you when these things drop. So I'll see you next time. Do all that and you'll know when that is. It's most likely to be 2 weeks from today. So until then, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. All right? Cheers for now. Ta-da. That's enough of that. I like it. It's throaty.